We had some difficult times in our family. My mother became a single mother and took care of 5 children. She worked 2 jobs, to make ends meet at home. She always provided all of us with food on the table, a nice house, clothes, a Catholic education, and to this day I'm afraid to ask, but sometimes I don't know how she did it each time. But during those times, of course, I'm now shooting up to being 10, 11, 12, 13 years old in Echo Park, and I started to hang around with the wrong group of kids, and my mother knew it. My older brother knew it, and he didn't like it too much, and he had a couple of words with me as a young man. I think it was the first time I got the wind knocked out of me when I came home dressed as a little gangster in a Pendleton, trying to act like the other kids, and he gave me a good one to the belly, and it was the first time and the last time I ever got the wind knocked out of me. But it was, she saw a kid that wanted to get involved in something, and a kid that, or son I should say, not even a kid, but a son that had this energy and loved helping people, because I would always help my neighbors, help the old lady across the street. I was a kid that went and, if someone needed help pulling their grass or pulling weeds, I went and did it. Not for money, but just to be a good neighbor. And she had heard about the Explorer program, and it was a LAPD cadet program at Ryan Park Police Station. And this is, I'm dating myself here, but this was back when Rampart was still patrolling Echo Park. Subsequently, it's no longer that way, but she took me down there, she enrolled me, and I was so scared walking into the police station first time, and we had a meeting with the advisor back then. His name was Jerry DeRosa. I'll never forget him. He was just a great man, great police officer. He took me in, sat me down, and said, listen, if you're going to be part of the Explorers, this is what we expect of you. We expect you to be a good citizen. We expect you to be a good kid. We expect you to listen to your parents, your mother, and we expect you to get good grades. And if you fail at any one of those, we're going to ask you to leave. And so they interviewed me, and long behold, I think I'd already gotten in, because my mom had already talked to him about me. But I felt it was my true first interview in life, and I sold myself. I got in, and I was invited back to their first meeting, and a few weeks later, I was given my uniform that we used at the time before I went through the police academy. And at that time, we actually went through the academy, and it was probably some of the best times of my life, because I helped the community as a young kid. The Explorer program was very active, as they are now. We used to do crowd control at parades. We would do security at the Greek Theater. And with all this, we would raise money. And we were so active, and these kids were so active. We raised enough money to go on trips that I can never have gone on with my family, because we couldn't afford it. It was the first time I went to Hawaii. We saved enough money to go to Hawaii. We went to Catalina. We went numerous places throughout the city, the beach. And these are things that, as a kid, I had never dreamed that I would ever, go into these places. And Explorers did that. It taught me how to be a young adult, and it got me interested in law enforcement. I thought maybe I want to be a police officer at that point. And it was where I truly met one of my first mentors in life, a gentleman named Dave Kalish, who rose in the ranks of LAPD and I met him when he was just a detective, a burglary detective, helping out, of course, volunteering my time in the detective unit at the old Rampart Police Station, and met him, and he took liking to me, and it goes to say, when your mother made good tamales, I always brought these incredible tamales around for Christmas time, and he was the first to ask for them, and we struck up a good conversation, a good friendship, actually an incredible friendship, because he was one of the key mentors in my life to this day, and to this day we're still very good friends. And I look at his success in life, and how he guided me down the right road. And there was times where I didn't speak to him for months or years, but somehow or another we stayed in touch via a postcard, via a message, and running into each other at a local restaurant. But we always kept that friendship. I'm Rudy Martinez, and I'm running for City Council here in the 14th District, and I would appreciate your vote.